And I didn't understand it at that age or at that time. Why I was able to so easily attract people. But sometimes though, now also it wasn't good people as well. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't attract the bestest of people when I was trying to make friends. They hurted me and they backstabbed me. But we'll get more into that later in another episode. But yeah. So upon me first moving, now the first place we ever stayed was in the hood in Virginia. Was the hood. I'm not lying. We started from the mud. We started from the mud. We had a really shaggy house. I don't know. It looked decent, but really it wasn't. I can say as an adult now, that house was no good. And we went to Virginia like last year, and I think we saw it. We saw it, I think, and it was just not good. It was a shit shag of the house. A shit shag. It still looked the same way it did when we first moved there for the first time. Of course, with some improvements, obviously. That house was a mess. It was a mess. Imagine any shake shag of a house in the hood. Y'all know. Y'all know. If you know, you know what a shake shag house in the hood looks like. You know. Had all types of bugs, creatures, rat, mite, all of that. Just the worst of the worst. I hated it. Of course, as my kid self, I didn't know. I wasn't too terrified, but I didn't like them. I had a phobia of certain creatures. If you know, you know. Rats, all that. You know, I hated it. I hated it. But I guess it wasn't too original because that's what we dealt with in Albany as well. Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we were. Our economy weren't at the best spot at the beginning of my life. We lived in not the best of the homes. Very bad, rundown homes because that's what our credit could allow. I don't. We weren't poor, but we weren't rich. And well, I would say to gauge where we were at that time, I would say we were definitely at the low of middle class at that time during the early 2000s, during my childhood, my early childhood. We were at the low economy, definitely at the low economy, and yeah, we couldn't live in nice homes. We couldn't because it just my mom and dad's credit history was not the best. So we couldn't live in the nice places. You know, we had to live where we could, and that meant living in the hood, bad homes, of danger. It was just what we had to do. You know, not because we wanted to. I mean, I think y'all know that. We didn't want to, but I didn't want to as a kid. But I didn't let it get to me because I didn't really understand it. I didn't really know what that was about. Honestly, I didn't. I didn't. I just thought, yeah, we got these bugs, we got this stuff, we got these cracks, leaks, and stuff going on, but, it's still okay. It's still a decent home. I mean, all my friends, we didn't really talk much about stuff like that, about how our homes were. Also, I can't remember much about that, but I never felt completely bad about it until we got down to Virginia. And that's what we'll talk about either the other half of this in another Kia episode. Because for now, I'm going to start from 4 to probably 7-ish years old. And then we'll conclude this little podcast episode. But, yeah. Our credit history wasn't the best. My parents' credit history wasn't the best. So we had to live in the cheapest and where they would not do credit checks. And that would be, in places like the hood and where landlords wouldn't really give a shit about checking credit history and stuff like that. They didn't give a damn. They really didn't. As long as the money was good, that's all that mattered to those landlords. As long as the money was good, that's all that mattered. And that's what we did. We lived there in that crappy house on Columbus Ave in our first 2 years living in Virginia. Now, I would say it was the first night. It was the first or second night. I think it was the second night. The second night was when I met friends. I met and made friends with infamous people to meet. And these group of people accepted me and my brother. Accepted me and my brother, and quite easily. I thought it was going to take a little bit longer. I thought it was going to take a few weeks or so to find the kids, get to know the neighborhood kids, because I was just I don't know if I'm gonna find friends. I was worried. I was stressed. I was thinking oh my god, I'm really gonna have to start from scratch. This is gonna suck. This is gonna take forever. I'm gonna be a loner. And surprisingly, I wasn't. At least on the neighborhood, I wasn't. We weren't. I'll say. But in school, that was a whole nother thing. Y'all, I feel like the school should be a whole nother episode because that one is its own can of worms. Because honestly, I don't even know where to start with that one. I don't. But it has to be told. It has to be told. So I'm gonna say probably the next episode. But yeah, in the neighborhood, and I had friends. We were all friends in the neighborhood during the early stages of it. We were like all friends. We all like would hang out at like one specific person's house or backyard because they had like this really nice bouncy, was it bungee? You know the thing with the where you can bounce around. I can't think of the name right now, but you know where you bounce around in it and you can do flips and stuff. That's what we hanged out at, and it had a basketball, little basketball hoop. My brother would play with him and the other guys in the neighborhood all the time, basketball, all the time. That was their thing. And sometimes I would do it just for fun. Because I was like a sports girly too. Early on, I was kind of a sports girly, but I wasn't committed into the sports girly life. I was just like, I do it for fun, but I don't think I want to commit to being a actual sports girly. Like, I like to watch y'all guys play, but I don't think I want to be actually involved. You know, I don't think I want to be actually involved. But I watched. I had my girls. I had my girls. My newfound little girlfriends. We all hanged out. We all had fun. We did things. We had fun. Back in those days, there was no technology. There was no like really nice advanced phones like iPhones and stuff. The iPhones and stuff weren't even that good. It wasn't that good enough to really like scroll and scroll. Nah, back when I was growing up, it was still like we go outside and play. We go outside, we play, and we have fun. I feel like that was honestly like the last days of true like kids going out and really having fun without no technology, no distractions like that. It was really like having fun. I mean, we did have our computers and stuff. I mean, yeah, we had computers and stuff, but even then, the computers weren't that good. The internet was like somewhat okay, but it was just still like that want to go outside and play with the other kids. It was still there. It never went away. It never went away until later on, of course. I'll say like until like mid like 2010s. Yeah, mid 2010s, like 2015. That was really like when phones were like really starting to get like good. You know, like the iPhone like 6, 5, 6, I think, came out and stuff like that. That's when the phones started to get more advanced and technology started to get more advanced and better. And the kids were starting to like want phones, really wanted phones. And it was just like kids were still outside, but it was like now they have phones, so they'd be on their phones scrolling a little bit, and then they would play. Now I don't know what kids do now, but from what I've seen, kids just be outside scrolling on their phones. Kids who look too young to be having phones, in my opinion. I'm like, yeah, I don't think these kids should be having these phones. They're too young to be having these phones. My never had a phone like that. At 10 years old, no. At 10 years